Hello, welcome to 101. I'm your host, Greg Walker. We got a remarkable guest today. I look forward to this show. For those of you that love music, well, you've been influenced by him in some kind of way, him or his father or others just like him. His name is Thom Bresh. Thom Bresh. He's an entertainer, singer, songwriter. He's been a stunt man. He's in the Thumb Pickers Hall of Fame. He's done a little bit of it all. He's been nominated for an Academy Award as a producer. I want you to settle back, relax, enjoy a fun, down-to-earth conversation with a guy that is loaded with talent. He's a nice gentleman. I think you're going to enjoy our next two shows with Thom Bresh. He'll join us right after these words.
Thank you for voting Matthews Nissan Clarksville's favorite new car dealer. We're doing it again. Big savings on 400 new, $7,888 off a new Altima, $5,888 off a new Rogue, $6,888 off a new Maxima. Buy a new Versa, $9,999. You're going to love our prices.
I'm Gary Matthews, and that's my guarantee.
You're gonna love our prices, Matthews Nissan.
The Leaf Chronicle is now available on every device you carry or don't carry. All things Clarksville in all media 24/7. Subscribe now for full access.
For 100 years, Neil Tarpley Parchment Funeral Home has honored legacies. We believe every family deserves a special time of celebrating a life well lived.
Neil Tarpley Parchment, people who care, a name you can trust.
Welcome to our show today. The Bresh Man, Thom Bresh, is in the house. Tom, I know you got your pick. It's a pleasure.
Hey, my pleasure.
It is our pleasure to have you. This gentleman, you notice I didn't in your introduction.
Gentlemen, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
You like that, though,
You're doing
don't you?
good, yeah. I wanted to see me when you got done talking.
You notice I didn't say in the open, though. I mean, you're an entertainer, singer, songwriter. You've done it all. Thumb Picker Hall of Fame, producer.
Wine Lord, you brought that up?
I did. On the second show, I did bring that up. But I didn't say your father's Merle Travis. And when I say Merle Travis, if you don't know who that is, he's in 5 different Hall of Fames. Is that not correct?
I haven't counted.
I think so.
You got the Songwriter Hall of Fame. You got the Country Music Hall of Fame. You got the pioneer of the Academy of Country Music out the West Coast. They put him in the Smithsonian, which is kind of funny when we got inducted into that. And, the Gibson Martin Guitar Hall of Fame, there's 6. I'm on the second hand now.
Amazing man. And
yeah, he was pretty interesting character.
now, you say he's your father.
Yeah.
But Bud Bresh.
That's my dad. I got a father and a dad.
How did that work?
Well, I was born, and when I was born in those days, you weren't born out of wedlock and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, Travis was kind of promiscuous in those days.
Yeah.
And so anyway, there's my mom that is pregnant, and a friend of hers that drove her from southern Indiana out there to California. He said, you can't. She said, I know. Well, I'll give him my name if you want to. So they finally got married. I think I was 12 years old when they finally got married. Mom left it open. She says, I didn't know what Travis wanted to do, but he was always there. He was kind of like Uncle Merle, He was always there. I saw his big Super 400. He laid it out on the ground, a big blueprint, and I'm looking at it. Walking, you're walking all over my new guitar. You can't do that. I get off of it. So he was always there, and his friends that were close to him all watched out for me. So, but I had this father, and then I had this dad And the reason I say dad, anybody can be a father. Come on, if you put it in the situation like I'm putting,
I understand.
Biological father,
Yeah.
the guy that gives up his vacations, whips your butt when you deserve to have it whipped, which nobody does anymore because it's like so politically incorrect.
Oh yeah, right.
That's what my dad did. He was a photographer for the movie studios.
Bud Bresh.
He was from Southern Indiana, and then Travis from Muhlenberg County, Kentucky.
Muhlenberg County.
And there was an hour, I don't know, hour and a half at the very most difference in if you go for a drive from Washington, Indiana, which is kind of between Evansville and Vincennes, to Central City, for instance.
Yeah, we're about an hour from Muhlenberg County.
Yeah,
here.
I know. This is
sitting right here. As a matter. Now you live in Hendersonville now.
No, I moved. I was in Hendersonville, but I took a chance and went out to Scottsdale, Arizona, because I had a chance to go into this really, really big, like estate ranch house, fabulous place. And I found out when I got out there that Scottsdale, northeast Scottsdale, where I lived, the house was beautiful, but there's 600 golf courses there. I don't play golf. I shoot 125 on a 3-par. So I'm not somebody that they say, hey, you got to come to our tournament. Yeah. I go there, I shoot pictures for them and video and stuff, but not to play golf. So I wanted to kind of be closer to Los Angeles and Hollywood so I could read for some character parts now that I'm getting into the autumn of my life.
Well, we're the same age.
Well, you're in the autumn of yours, too.
We're still young pups, man.
Well, yeah, but they have those parts I wanted to read for, but I found out that, see, I was gone from Hollywood for 30 years. Everybody I knew is retired, died, or they made their money and they're out of it.
Right.
And so I'd have to go through all that whole thing again, and I wound up coming back to Nashville because I missed all that creativity that they have musically. It's musicless row that I don't care for.
Really?
But I'm not trying to produce anymore. I'm not trying to be a songwriter anymore, get songs cut, or be an artist. So I don't need. I don't have any reason to worry about.
Well, you've got
that area.
You've done so well in the past. You don't have to do that now. You got a beautiful studio. I saw it on your website. By the way, his website, if you'd ever like to check him out, is Bresh.com.
Oh,
BRESH.com.
Just like fresh, but with a B.
Yeah, Bresh.com. Now, you say you grew up on a movie set.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, my dad, being a photographer, he was in charge of me because my mom was an accountant for a big grocery chain. And so you either get a babysitter, which is not his style, so he put me in, come on, we're going to the ranch. The time I was 3 years old, I was 17. I got to where I was working out there and doing things, but when I was a little kid, I just go with him. And when they're making movies, it's just magic. It's a magical place. And then there was 2,200 acres in that movie ranch. That's where Fort Apache was built, where they shot all the Rin Tin Tin stuff. And the movie was made for that John Wayne movie, Fort Apache. People can't say what I can say, see? Like my first, shall we say, kind of serious love experience happened.
Hutton.
Well, I wish it was Lauren Hutton, yeah.
You did have a date with her, didn't you?
No, it never went that far. Well, we all hung out because that's another story. But let me stay on Fort Apache.
All right.
My first experience was in Fort Apache. People can't say that. I'll take something else with the ranch. First time I ever went skinny dipping was in Robin Hood's Lake. That's where they shot all the Robin Hood stuff. It was 2,200 acres. So they had the Silvertown Main Street that I promise your viewers have seen that Main Street a million times. It was in everything. And those mountains in the background. Then something I always like to tell that people get a kick out of, take the side of a mountain, the side of one of these mountains there, and the studios went in and built this thing the same, it looks just like the mountain.
Right.
But it comes down, and if you look at it this direction, it's a big cave. So you go into that cave, and you can actually go in about 20 feet and turn right, and you come out over here. Then you walk right around, go in again, turn around. So that's the way it is. But if you shoot it this way, it's a cave.
Yeah.
Now, if you go over to the other side and shoot it that way, it's a mine shaft opening. So, you know, that's the way movies are made. Not really a mine, but it looks like a mine when they go in there. That's where our clubhouse was. Me and my buddies, we had our stuff up on the walls and all that. And I remember the times I get a call from Corrigan, Crash Corrigan. He was one of the old movie stars, the Three Musketeers, Range Busters, and all that. And Corrigan called and he says, "Little Tommy," he always called me Little Tommy because he had a son, Tommy, and he's a big guy. "Little Tommy, this is Crash." I said, "Hi, Crash. You and your friends are going to have to get stuff out of your meeting house there this weekend because the Lone Ranger is going to be shooting all next week." Tonto and the Lone Ranger rode into that cave.
Right.
And that used to just burn my butt to think. There's 2,200 acres and they got to use our clubhouse, you know?
Our guest is Thom Bresh. Before we take a break, tell us about this guitar.
This guitar is a Martin guitar. It's a D28, if you're a Martin fan. It's a D28 Dreadnought, but has this Bigsby headstock. This is a headstock that Travis drew out on the back of a placemat, and he had a solid body guitar, which you can see in the Country Music Hall of Fame. It's the first solid body guitar and it was like this. He drew it all out. But once they made that solid body guitar, he wasn't that crazy about it. It was too tinny for him, he said. But he loved the neck, so he said to Bigsby, "Is there any way to make a neck and put it on that Martin?" Bigsby, "Hey, yeah, it's a maple neck. All the others are like mahogany or rosewood neck." So it's a maple neck, and it's really a fast neck. It's thin, because you got a lot of chords, you get your whole hand. If the neck's wide, you know, unless you have fingers like this, you can't play some of these chords. And so when Travis died, we got with Martin, and they said, "Let's make a commemorative model that is just exactly like Travis's." And so they did. This is the Merle Travis D28. And this is number 1. They made 100. This is number 1.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a great guitar. Feels like the old man's. They put Martin on the back. That's how
number
confident. Yeah, the number 1's in here. In the
here.
whole. Yeah. But it says Bigsby out here because Chris Martin wanted it to look authentic. Have the same pick guard and the headstock. That's pretty good for a company that is very secure with their brand to put their name on the back. Yeah. So, and Chris loves it when I tell that story because he stands there all 110 pounds of him. He's a little guy, but he loves when I tell that. But that's the truth. And the guitar's great. I think there's about 30 of them left.
How about the sound? Let's hear that sound. Oh, yeah. Thom Bresh, back after this. Yeah, very good.
The Leaf Chronicle is now available on every device you carry or don't carry. All things Clarksville in all media 24/7. Subscribe now for full access.
Welcome back. If you just tuned in, Thom Bresh is our guest today on One on One. And boy, we are really tickled to have him. The Bresh man.
We're having fun, aren't we?
Well, we are. That's what we're supposed to do. Just down to earth, have a good time. We had a good time sitting on the deck this morning.
Yeah.
You telling stories. I told everybody, you got so many things you've done. I mean, he's been nominated for an Academy Award. He's in the Thumb Pickers Hall of Fame. Producer, singer, songwriter, stunt man, entertainer, grew up on a movie set.
Darn nice guy. You left that one.
I said that one in the
Had all my
introduction.
shots on Housebroken.
Yeah, the whole deal. Tell everybody
Yes.
the Andy Griffith story. Your
Oh,
first
my
meeting.
goodness.
I mean, I'm an Andy Griffith fan.
I
We
am
all
too. I am too. I mean, we all are. Come
Yeah.
on. And everybody knew that I was nuts about Andy. We were all nuts about Andy. He was a staple in all of our homes.
Yes, sir.
Him and Opie and Barney and Floyd and everybody. Well, a friend of mine says, "Hey, you like Andy Griffith, right? I'm at Lake Tahoe now. We're playing at, I think we were at the Sahara Tahoe. Might have been at let's say the Sahara Tahoe. I'm not sure where it was."
That's fine.
He says, Andy Griffith's opening tomorrow. I said, "Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think I might stay an extra day because we were closing and go see his show." "Well, you don't even have to do that." He says, "As a matter of fact, that's what I came over here to tell you. You can get into the Harrah's Lounge." Keep in mind, I'm like 17,
I was
maybe.
wondering how old you were.
About 17. But I knew the maitre d's and all that, so if there's somebody going on, I could go in and see him, or get backstage, whatever. He says, "A bunch of us are getting together, and we're going to go in and watch Louis Prima." And I love Louis Prima.
Yeah.
In the lounge at Harrah's. They said, "So if you'd like to come over, we're going to be over there at like the 10 o'clock show." And I said, "Yeah, well," but Andy Griffith's coming in. So there are a bunch of us. We're going to, "Really? He's going to be there?" "Yeah." "Oh, yeah, I'll be over." So I got looking pretty sharp, And by the time I went in there was Andy. He was down. This is a long table. There's probably maybe 6 people on each side, and I'm down here at the end. Andy's down at this end, and he's talking. And now I can hear action behind the curtain. So I look at my watch. It's about 7-8 minutes to 10. Louis Prima is going to start. And so I see Andy's telling something, and he stands up, but he keeps leaning over. He's finishing a story because he's got to pee. He's going to go to the bathroom. Up I go. I'm out thinking this whole thing. I go out of the lounge and down to the bathroom, and I'm just kind of hanging out in the Harrah's bathroom, hoping Andy Griffith shows up. And they had 3 urinals on this one wall, and I heard the door, so I got the urinal against this wall, and here comes this old man, and he went next to me and Andy Griffith. There he is, me and Andy and an old man in the Harrah's bathroom, and the 3 of us are going. The old man was kind of in and out. So that left me and Andy Griffith. And I thought, this is not a place to say hi or shake his hand or anything. So anyway, I pretend like I'm going, and I can see he's finishing up and heads for the wash basin.
Right.
So I head for the wash basin. He's over at this wash basin. I'm at this one. We're both washing our hands. And he looks in the mirror and kind of gives me a grin. I thought, wow. I grin back, and I see it. You better say something. I'm thinking, say something. Because when he gets done, he's going to dry those hands. He's out of here. Say something. I don't know what to say. I'm 17.
Yeah.
He's Andy Griffith.
Right.
This is during the time he's shooting, too. They're just on hiatus so he can come up and do his shows. Then they go back shooting again. Kind of a little vacation. So finally, I'm panicking because I'm seeing that he's shaking his hands. I said, "Andy, who is that old man standing there?" I didn't know what else to say. He stopped everything and looked at me in that mirror. And just like we've seen a million times on TV, he says, "I don't know, but that old man stared at my the whole time he was there."
Oh, no!
I thought I was going to... And he just grinned, that great big wide grin. The only thing he didn't say is, I appreciate it, good night. Yeah. And out the door he went. And I just stood there. I thought, that story will never, ever be topped.
My gosh. I didn't know that was the story.
Well,
I promise.
It's a fabulous story, and come on, it's a story. And we
it's
didn't
a
say,
true story.
Yes, and we didn't say anything wrong, but that's what he said, word for word, and that long take and shaking that head. It's just like he was talking to Opie, you know.
Yeah.
The whole time he's there.
He was himself.
Oh, yeah. Give me 2 hot dogs and a big orange drink. Remember that one?
Yeah.
I used to know that whole routine when I was a kid.
Nominated for an Academy Award, Song of the Year.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting.
You had tough company that year.
Well, we knew we weren't going to win. I mean, the song, Lane Brody had a big hit record, which I produced from the movie, Robert Duvall.
Yeah. Tender Mercies. Great movie.
Yeah. And it was one of the 5, but we knew, I'm saying, Lane says, don't be negative. I said, we're not going to win this. It's impossible. We're up against Flashdance.
Right.
They had like 5 hits off that album alone, you know. They're going to win Flashdance. And they did, of course. Yeah. But I said, we're up there. We're in the money. And boy, Lane was mad because they wouldn't let her sing it. They had Mac Davis sing that song. It was a beautiful love song, and I don't know, that wasn't
the right choice, was it?
I don't think so. No, Lane, incredible singer, first of all, and it was her voice that they all heard, and she sings like a bird, under pressure or without pressure.
Yeah, that's where a little name recognition got her, didn't it?
I guess, you know, I guess.
2001 inductee in the Thumb Pickers Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was a thrill, you know, because Travis is in there, Chet Atkins in Jerry Reed is in there.
You've played with Chet Atkins a bunch, haven't you?
Yeah. I've known Chet. I met him when I was 11 or 12. I'm not sure how old I was. I might have been 10, but it's right in there. Who cares at this point? 10 to 12, that area. I should try to find out.
Met him through your dad?
No, actually, I met him through Ernie Ball. Ernie Ball is a man that, if you're a musician, you know the name, you use the strings, maybe you have a guitar, an Ernie Ball Music Man amplifier, but you don't know the person. Nobody knows what Ernie looks like. He was never one to be in front of cameras. He was a cartoonist, a great teacher, wonderful musician, one hell of a businessman. And he turned a little store that he had with a curtain. He gave lessons. I took steel guitar lessons from him, you know. $3 for a half-hour lesson. They had a curtain here, he and you and Ernie sat here, curtain, and then had 2 little fold-up chairs that sat out here where your parents could read a magazine. He had some magazines, and he built that into this giant conglomerate that he is today. But it's because he listens and pays attention, and he was such an incredible person. He was very close to me, and he told me one time, he says, get dressed up, put on one of your little suits or something. I'm going to take you for a surprise towards the end of the week. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So, went out to I think it was the Ambassador Hotel, one of those Beverly Hills. And had this dinner with all these forks and knives. I mean, I was stumped right off the bat. Ernie says, start at the outside, work your way in. It's the best thing you can do. Okay. So that train of thought still today works. If I see them overdoing it, well, they've got, you know, a million. Excuse me. Jeez. So anyway, we finished this dinner, and we're walking through the hotel. There's about, 6 of us all together, I think. And we come around this corner, and there's one of those, I don't know what these things are called, that sit on the ground, and they're like they go up maybe 4 or 5 feet high, and then they have a hinge, you open them up like this, and they sit down like a big A. What are those things called?
You got me.
You know, so they put advertisements on them. You know. But this one said, Gretsch Guitars presents Chet Atkins and Jimmy Webster. And Ernie knew how nuts I was about Chet Atkins.
Right.
I'm just looking at that.
How old are you now?
I'm between 10 and 12.
And you started playing the guitar when?
As soon as I could hold one in my hand.
That's what I thought.
I had a a little ukulele to start with that I thought was a guitar because I'm 4 years old.
Yeah.
So, and I strung hell out of that. But I was getting paid strumming that thing. Hank Penny, had the Hank Penny band, would play at this place every weekend called Pop's Willow Lake. They would have shows. People would go out there and picnic and go in the big swimming pool and ride horses in the horse trail and all that. Hank did a show. He always put me on stage, but he'd untune that ukulele, so just like a bunch of rubber bands. I wouldn't bother anybody, but I had my little cowboy suit. And they put me up on the stage. I knew all the breaks and all that stuff that all the guys did by watching them. And he put me up there as the token cute kid. Got a box that I would help me up on that box, and I'd sing a chorus, "You're Cheating Heart." They gave me $3 and at the end.
And you would tip.
And that was a lot. I mean, ice cream is 10 cents for a single scoop. I'd buy everybody ice cream.
Talking with Thom Bresh, talking about his first meeting with Chet Atkins. Stretch Run, Show 1. We'll be back with Show 2 also later, right after this.
Ooh.
Thank you for voting Matthews Nissan Clarksville's favorite new car dealer. We're doing it again. Big savings on 400 new, $7,888 off a new Altima, $5,888 off a new Rogue, $6,888 off a new Maxima. Buy a new Versa, $9,999. You're going to love our prices.
I'm Gary Matthews, and that's my guarantee.
You're gonna love our prices. Matthews Nissan.
100 years, Neil Tarpley Parchment Funeral Home has celebrated legacies with services as unique as each life.
Neil Tarpley Parchment, people who care, a name you can trust.
We're out of time. He'll be back next week. We'll get him to do some picking for us next week, playing. Tune in then, show number 2, Thom Bresh.